am in the special CBI court. Priyanka is joining me live. Priyanka, the CBI advocate is giving some arguments right now. Take us through what's happening.
Well, yes, Shivangi, in fact, the details of what's really transpiring inside of the courtroom right now. This is the special court, in fact, which has been where.
And right now, what we are getting, the second-to-second update, in fact, what we are getting right now is that there was constant communication between Partha Chatterjee and Arpita. Now, we have seen this come out during the course of the investigation by the Enforcement Directorate, who had also stated in the remand application for
Partha Chatterjee. They had stated that there was constant communication between Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee, and we have seen since then that the TMC and Partha Chatterjee also trying to distance themselves from Arpita, since it was her house from where cash had also been seized. But now, of course, these are some points that also prove that these were the two people who were in cahoots. They had been in constant communication, and that there is links between Partha Chatterjee and Arpita as well. In fact, we are putting out the details of what's really transpiring inside of the courtroom, and we are getting how 21.9 crores of cash had been found from Arpita's house. Now, this has been said by the advocate from the Enforcement Directorate, putting forward the arguments for remand of Arpita as well, since remember, it was yesterday that she had been given a one-day remand custody to Enforcement Directorate, and now today she had been taken for her medical. As per the requirements, for 24 hours she was supposed to be taken for a medical, and now she has been produced before the court so that further remand can be sought for by the Enforcement Directorate. And we're getting all the updates from inside from our colleagues who are present there, and we are also pointing out how there are certain details. For example, what they're also talking about, how there were property that had been purchased with the joint name. Now, this is a clincher. You know, we are seeing these kind of details that are coming to light from inside of the courtroom, where they're now saying, the ED is now saying that there were properties that had been purchased with joint name of Partha and Arpita.
In this raid that they had carried out 2 days back at Partha Chatterjee's residence and Arpita's residence as well, from where documents had been seized, we had been getting the inclination of the kind of massive number of documents that have been seized, Shivangi, by the Enforcement Directorate in these raids. But these documents are now being cited inside of the courtroom for getting further remand of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita as well. Now, they both have done offense of money laundering. Now, this is again something that is being said by the Enforcement Directorate lawyer inside of the courtroom, where now they are talking about the kind of cash that had also been seized. They're saying 21.9 crores of cash that had been recovered from Arpita's residence itself. And now we are seeing that that is being cited inside of the courtroom so that further remand can be sought for of Arpita and Partha as well. But as of now, of course, for Arpita, she has been produced before the court. Her 24 hours of custody is ending with the Enforcement Directorate, and that is why they're also producing her before the court. And we have seen, Shivangi, the kind of details that had come to light with respect to the raids that had been carried out. Now, we are also expecting that the ED will be citing those insignia documents of the West Bengal government that had been found from inside of the residences of Arpita as well. So they might also be cited because that is a direct link of the SSC scandal that was being investigated earlier by the CBI as well, under the direction of the Calcutta High Court, where they had said that they need to carry out a fact-finding mission as well to understand how this entire conspiracy had been at play. And since then, we have seen one after the other several big names of the West Bengal government machinery that are coming to light. One being, of course, Partha Chatterjee, who had also been called by the CBI. He had been interrogated before as well, and now we are seeing that over the last 3 days, the ED also carrying out their raids, and those new documents that are when it comes to the kind of investigation that they're doing, the reason that they have reason to believe that there was hawala transactions as well that were being carried out, and those are also parts of the investigation that they will be looking into, that they will be scrutinizing, because now they already have documents of properties that they had brought together. Shivangi, we must understand for our viewers as well as to how they are going to be proceeding with the investigation further from now on, because they will be citing all these documents
documents. They will be looking further into how more and more people had been involved in this entire nexus. It was not just Partha Chatterjee, it was not just Arpita as well. But as of now, Arpita under the scanner by the Enforcement Directorate. So let's talk about that as well. Because we had seen the kind of heaps of cash that had been recovered from Arpita's residence, 21.9 crore, and now we are seeing that the Hawala links also coming to light. So now the Enforcement Directorate is also going to be investigating into that part of this entire matter, where they are going to be looking at the dubious financial transactions that were being carried out, the Hawala transactions, if there were any, that will be also investigated as well. But as of now, the ED also pointing out that they both have done offence of money laundering. So now this is something that has been, that is final as of now, that the Enforcement Director is looking into that aspect of the investigation to understand how money laundering was being done by Partha Chatterjee, by Arpita as well, because it was her house where the cash had been seized. And it's also important to mention that the Enforcement Directorate has first established that there was a constant communication and that these are the two people who had been also communicating while carrying out this scam as well, and that is why now further on they're proceeding towards how there were money laundering also being done. Now viewers, we are on the ground getting you minute-to-minute update as to what's really happening.